I remember the morning everything changed, not because something dramatic happened, but because nothing did. There was no apology from him, no message, no explanation, just the same cold silence that had been breathing down my neck for days. But that morning, instead of letting it crush me again, something shifted inside me, a quiet strength I hadn't felt in years. I stood up, washed my face, and stared into the mirror. My eyes were tired, swollen, but alive in a way they hadn't been for a long time. I whispered to myself, "Enough." It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, just a simple, firm decision that quietly rewrote the rest of my life. I walked into the living room, the place where he had walked out without a backward glance. His mug still sat on the table, his jacket still hung on the chair, his shoes were lined up by the door. For a moment, I just stared at them, at all the things he left behind like he owned the air in the room. But he didn't, not anymore. I started removing everything piece by piece, the mug, the jacket, the shoes, every item that held the weight of his presence. With each thing I picked up, the heaviness in my chest loosened. I cleaned the entire house, not to erase him, but to reclaim a space that finally belonged to me again. When I sat down later, I opened an old notebook, the one I used back when I had dreams, before he convinced me they were foolish. I found old plans, old ideas, old hopes I had buried, because he said I would never succeed. I read through them with trembling hands, not from fear, but from hope. Hope I hadn't felt in years. I finally dialed the number of an old friend, someone he never wanted me to talk to. "Hey, it's me," I whispered. She asked if I was okay. For the first time, I told someone the truth. "I want to start again. I just don't know how." Her voice didn't hesitate. "Then let's begin today." That call became the first real step of my comeback. The days that followed weren't easy. Healing never is. Some mornings I felt strong, others I woke up crying. But I kept going. I made lists. I made plans. I researched, studied, watched tutorials, practiced, learned. Late nights didn't exhaust me. They fueled me. And slowly, quietly, I felt something grow inside me. Confidence. Not loud confidence, but the kind that stays steady even when the world shakes. Then one evening, I launched my first batch of handmade products online. I didn't expect anything. I just wanted to try. But within an hour, I got my first order. My hands shook as I stared at the screen. That one order wasn't just a sale. It was proof that I wasn't useless, that my ideas mattered, that his words meant nothing. I cried that night, not from pain, but from relief. More orders came. People loved my work. They praised it, shared it, supported it. My small dream started turning into something real. And with every new order, I felt myself growing into someone I liked, someone I respected, someone I had lost while loving him. But life tests you the moment you start rising. The day he returned, everything inside me froze. There was a knock at the door, not gentle, not hesitant, but arrogant, like he believed he still owned a place in my life. When I opened the door, there he was, the same man who walked out like I was replaceable. But he wasn't the same. His confidence had cracks. His eyes carried stress he couldn't hide. "Can we talk?" he asked. I didn't move. For the first time, he looked unsure of himself. He walked inside, expecting to see the broken woman he left behind. Instead, he saw peace, order, growth, a life that didn't miss him. His eyes fell on my workspace, orders stacked, supplies organized, thank you notes from customers. "You started a business?" he asked, voice tight. He wasn't confused, he was scared. Because the moment he saw my success, he realized the truth. I didn't need him. I never did. He tried to sit comfortably, but the room no longer accepted him. Finally, he spoke. "I've been thinking about you. I made mistakes. I wasn't myself." I watched him carefully. Every word felt rehearsed. I asked about the girl he left me for. His expression tightened. It didn't work out, he admitted. She wasn't like you. And just like that, the truth flashed through the room. He hadn't come back out of love. He came back because his life was falling apart. His job, his finances, his relationship. It had all collapsed. And when he had nowhere left to go, he remembered the woman who once held him together. But I wasn't her anymore. He stood up and walked toward my business setup. We can build this together, he said. Let me help you. Let's start over. I stared at him, feeling nothing but clarity. He thought success would bring me back. He thought confidence would make me forget the pain. He thought a few soft words could rebuild what he